Hey everyone, the Green Waifu here. Today I have a huge book haul video for you guys. I went absolutely bananas at my library's used book sale. I got 43 books. We're gonna go through all of them. Let's just dive right into it. Coming in hot. This is the best book out of this entire haul. This is an insane steal. And I'm sorry, if my library watches this video, yeah, whoever you had putting out these books, this is a first American edition of the Silmarillion. First. This book goes for like $200 and something on eBay. I got this for $1. First American edition. And honestly, outside of being pretty dusty, this book is in practically perfect condition. And it's funny because I didn't even realize what I had until I got home. I was just like, oh, it's another version of the Silmarillion. Why not? I have a huge collection. Why not? And I was on Facebook and I see someone, they're like, oh yeah, I got this first edition of the Silmarillion for like $5 at a garage sale. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's the same one I just bought. So I'm like scrambling, I'm looking, and sure enough, first American edition, $1. Before I go any further, please support your local library. Your local library needs to be your best friend. Next up, I got some giant copies of some books from the Game of Thrones series. I believe I got 1, 2, 3, and 5. They did not have book 4. The only reason I got these, even though I have copies already, the copies that I have are the mass market paperback. So they're really, really small. And these are huge, and I like big books. So this was a steal. This is probably the second best thing I got out of this haul. But I wish they would have had the other one I needed, but it's fine. I'll get it somewhere, somehow. Now, this book sale also had a lot of really good young adult books from my childhood, and if you've watched some of my other videos, when I was younger, I unfortunately had to sell all of my books, and that is why I have embarked on this journey to heal my inner child and buy all of my favorite books and just the books that I read as a kid and continue on my love for reading. So a lot of the books I'm going to show you guys you're going to be like, why did you buy that? It's nostalgic. I still want to reread it. So I got a copy of The Maze Runner. I am pretty sure they turned this into a TV series or a movie. To be honest, I read the book and I never watched the series. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I got a copy of Wuthering Heights. I read this in middle school probably, but it's nice to have a physical copy of this again. Next up, I got Love, Pain, and the Whole Damn Thing. I have never read this, know nothing of it, looked good, so I picked it up. Next up, I got a nice little stack of books that I think everyone should read or have in their collection. First up is Girl with a Pearl Earring, The Alchemist, The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, and Push. Huge trigger warning for this book. If you've heard of the movie Precious, that is based off of this book. The movie was very hard to watch. The book is even harder to read. But again, it is a book that I feel like is one of those books that even though it's hard to read, you should read. I got Burn by Helen Hart. Actually, the last time my library had a book sale, I got 1 through 4 of this series. And this book is like quite literally brand new, 100%. So I was happy to see this. So now I have 1 through 5, and I believe I still need 2 more to complete the series. Another classic, Where the Red Fern Grows. A Sorcerer's Treason. Honestly, I love fantasy, and this is a huge book. I also love huge books, so that's why I picked this one up. Never heard of it before, but I'm sure it's going to be great. Overbite by Meg Cabot. You guys already know if you watch my videos, I have a thing for vampires. It's a vampire book. I love vampires, why not? I also got this huge hardcover copy of A Little Life. The way I see people constantly crying over this book, I must hate myself to try and make myself read this book knowing I'm probably going to have the same reaction. But I've heard nothing but great things about this book, minus how emotional it will probably make me. So this is very high on my TBR, and I will definitely be reading and reviewing this soon. And then I have Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison. Honestly, anything that Toni Morrison has written, I need on my bookshelf. Okay, so this was definitely an impulse purchase, and because I have a passion for fashion. If you know, you know. um, I remember these books from my childhood, and this is really cool just for me to have, but to also have for my kids. This was, I think when I looked at it, it said it was published in 2005. So this is legit. I'm 26, so I grew up in the age of Bratz dolls. Bratz were like the hottest thing ever. Again, I have a passion for fashion, so I had to get this for myself and to also be able to show to my kids, because Bratz are now starting to make a comeback, but they don't know nothing about it. Is it really a book haul if I didn't get any manga? I got volume 1 through 9 of Sand Chronicles. To be honest with you, I'm assuming that this is romance. It's by Shoujo Beat, so I mean, it's not hard to tell what this is going to be about. And again, I saw volume 1 through 9. They're all in really great condition, so not to mention this manga looks pretty old. So lately I've been trying to focus on collecting older manga, since obviously it's harder to get, it's more expensive. So super excited to read these and let you guys know what I think. I got another stack of some classics for you. Of course, I had to get Charlotte's Web, which, by the way, did you guys know that Charlotte's Web is on the banned book list in some places? Charlotte's Web. We'll come back to this. I got a collection of poems by Emily Dickinson, something else that I think everyone should have. The Giver, which also, by the way, is on the banned book list now. I remember reading this in school. As I said earlier, I don't have any of my old books, so this is one that I got rid of. But yes, this is now on the banned book list by Banned Books. I got Old Yeller, which again, something I read in grade school or middle school, and it's just nice to have a copy of it. And I got The Life Story of Helen Keller. Again, whoever was stocking those tables with these books, thank you. Got 3 books by Anne Rice. I got The Vampire Armand, Cry to Heaven. Again, all of these books are in like perfect condition, minus being a bit dusty. These are some really great finds. Anne Rice is slowly becoming one of my, I'd say, top 10 favorite authors. As someone that loves fantasy and mythology and all of that stuff, Anne Rice is really just a classic in that department. Gotta give you guys a throwback with Hush Hush and Silence. This is a series that came out when I was probably a preteen or a teen and was all the hype. So I am super excited to have these in my collection and give them a nice reread. I am still missing 2 more books. There is another one called Crescendo and Finale. So I still do need 2 more books to finish the series, but still nice to have these 2. Next, I got Ashes. This is also a book that I read in grade school and middle school, I'd say. And again, it's another book that I think the average person needs to read. Next up, I have The Two Princesses of Bemere. This is another book that I read as a young adult and was just happy to have this in my collection. I got book 2 from the Internal Devices series by Cassandra Clare. If you've seen my other videos, I am obsessed with Cassandra Clare. It is not visible in this video, but right there is my entire Cassandra Clare shelf, which is now overflowing and I need to give her a second shelf. I unfortunately was unable to read a lot of the books that she wrote following the Mortal Instrument series, which is one of my all-time favorite book series ever. So it's been really nice slowly gathering these. Now, at the book sale, they did have the entire set of the Mortal Instrument books, and I really hope somebody was able to pick those up and get those, because it's such a great series, and I just want everyone to read it. I also got this comic called Mine, and this was created by Planned Parenthood. Honestly, I really didn't look into this. I mean, I used context clues to figure out what it was about, but I support Planned Parenthood, so this was something I wanted on my shelf. Simple as that. And last but not least, I got this giant cookbook, How to Cook Everything. I actually purchased this for my daughter. This is a book that she randomly wanted, and I hadn't been able to find it cheap. So, giant cookbook, How to Cook Everything. I love to cook, so maybe I'll find some good use out of this cookbook as well. That is all for my giant book haul from my library's used book sale. Again, shout out to my library, Ypsilanti District Library. They are super awesome. Whoever runs the social media, You're hilarious, by the way. The library has so many great resources. I was even able to go and get some free seeds from my library's seed library, which is really, really cool. It's so incredibly important to support your local library. Please, 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 even if you just go get a library card and check out books, even if you don't like to read, and you just go check out the books. That helps the library get more funding and it helps support the community. So please, definitely go get a library card from your local library. And you might even be surprised what you find there that you could actually use, even if you're not a person that likes to read. Again, huge shout out to my library, they're the best. Feel free to leave any comments or questions down below. Check me out on my other platforms. And as always, don't forget to subscribe.